Oh, yay, she found her phone.
Germany.
Hi, everyone. It's Dina, and this is Badass Pub, otherwise known as We Broke the Internet 30 seconds ago. So, which really sucked because I was on a roll.
Right.
Before we realized that I was off the air, because I was talking how I have no idea. I have no game. I have no idea if someone's flirting with me, unless they, are like, I'm warm for your form, or or something equally cheesy. It wasn't that funny. I swear to fuck, I've had one martini. Granted, my martini is 32 ounces. And I don't even have a fucking buzz. This sucks balls. And it's midnight.
I think we've got your tolerance back up, Dina.
Huh?
I think we've got your tolerance back up.
Motherfucker. One motherfucking filthy fucking martini, and I'm still sober. I am pissed like a motherfucker. I'm going to have to get off here and go down to Taco Cabana and have me one of their fucking dangerous fucking margaritas. Those fuckers are potent, man.
I had to opt for the coffee since, we were doing authors and readers behaving badly, and I decided if I had any more alcohol, I would be behaving badly, so...
That's because you are such a misbehaving biatch. Floozy alert.
Right?
I'm the innocent one. I'm just saying.
Right.
Look, do not...
So, let's talk about those authors and readers behaving badly.
Designated driver with innocence.
Okay, I'm not innocent. I taught you all your bad ways, I know. Wait, you're older than me. Never mind, just kidding. You taught me.
Yeah, I am old. I admit it, I'm old.
I didn't say you're old. I said you're
right.
older
The guy
than me.
at Texas Roadhouse tonight seriously thought that I was 25 because I asked for a margarita with a Patron kicker, and he was like, is this your 21st? Could I see your ID? So I show him my ID. He's like, oh, you're 25. And I'm like, dude, I was born in 81. I was like, I was 35. And so, but whenever they announced my birthday to the entire restaurant, they said I was 25.
Yeah, we heard you.
I loved it. I loved it.
It was your pretty makeup. That's what it was. It brought out your youth.
My red and blue eyeshadow.
Yeah, it matched your shirt.
It does.
The Silver Fox keeps telling me that I do not look like I'm 47.
You don't.
You don't.
Well, I know I don't act like I'm 47.
See, if I was a man and I was like, hey, you would be the perfect girl for any young buck to
Dang! Strong like bull!
I could totally see Dina be a cougar for a young guy, seriously.
No, actually, I did that. I mean,
see, I don't doubt it.
I was... How old was I? Well, it was for Wee Bossy Baby. So I was like 37, 36. And I think he was like 22.
Nice.
But, then you get in the whole thing. You have nothing to fucking talk about. I'd be like, references to, like, shit from the 70s. Like, huh? I'm like, oh, my God. Forget about bringing up Gone with the Wind or a Maltese Falcon or, and he's like, oh, the Millennium Falcon? No, you fucking retard. Not the Millennial Falcon. Do I look like Han Solo?
So, authors behaving badly and readers behaving badly. So is that what we're going to be talking about?
As opposed to Dina Ray behaving badly.
Well, there was that one time at RT that... No, I'm just kidding.
And I forgot that my shirt came undone and I was showing my fucking bra to everyone at the table. Oh, but no, what about when I was bouncing, trying to get in the fucking corset? Fucking flying.
And then how we had the two of us, between me and Tiffany, are like squeezing
that fucker. And then finally I'm like, fuck this shit. I want to breathe. I want to breathe and partake of alcohol.
Pushing and whipping and...
Right? Oh my gosh. Okay.
And then
So,
sitting
authors.
there with the guy from Draft to Digital, and I'm talking about bouncing into the corset, right? And I look down, and my shirt is completely unbuttoned to my fucking waist. And he's just sitting there looking at me. I mean, he's not blushing, he's not smiling, he's got a straight look on his face, and I'm going, holy fuck, I am not a whore. I am really not a whore.
So back to our topic.
Back to our topic. Okay, let's start off with readers behaving badly, because I saw something, it came through on my Facebook feed, and like I get a lot of shit. I mean, because I got like almost 5,000 friends on Facebook, right? So I see a lot of shit in my fucking newsfeed, and I saw this thing that someone via Goodreads had asked a reader. I don't even know if this person was an author, but had asked someone to read and review the book, and the book wasn't even in their genre of preference.
Okay.
The person said, okay, I'll go ahead and I'll review it. So she read it, and she reviewed it, and she gave it 4 stars. The author started sending her messages, calling her a blockhead if she didn't give it a 5-star review, and just in general, acting like a complete and total asshat. Now,
Really, people, get over yourselves.
and this was the only fucking review this asshole had on Goodreads. Okay? And yes, I'm going to call him an asshole because this is an asshole type behavior. You're not entitled to a 5-star review just because you fucking vomited words out onto a page.
Exactly.
Sorry, grow the fuck up.
I am guilty of giving an author a 2-star review. I'm not gonna lie. But here's my thing: is I'm not going to bash an author.
No,
Why? I'm gonna give them
Constructive
clear,
criticism.
concise
There's a difference
critique.
between giving a 1-star bash review and giving a 1-star constructive review. Look, you seriously need to consider an editor. You have a problem with head hopping, which I would, and this is what I would expect to get on mine because I head hop. So this is what I would give my own first draft. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You need an editor. You have a serious problem with head hopping, and you keep repeating the same point over and over again. This is if I was reviewing my own book. So if someone were to give me that review right now, it's constructive because it's reiterating a point that I personally already fucking know, but that's telling me how to improve it. Now, to say this book sucked balls, there's no redeeming quality about it, that doesn't tell the author anything. So
Absolutely.
That's a reader behaving badly point.
Okay,
Exactly.
now what about the reader the other day? And I got to bring this up because this is something that we're seeing a whole lot of. This girl, I kid you not, it was like she even put it out there. Do any of you know of any free, and in parentheses, pirate sites where I can find these books? Who the fuck do you think you are?
Yep. I
Yeah.
saw that.
Who the fuck do you think you are? You know what? You want to say you're poor and you want to read? Hey, go to the author and say, you know what? I'd like to read your book, and in exchange for a review, I would accept a copy of the book.
Yeah. If you give me your book for free, I will write an honest review.
Absolutely.
You want
To
a free
sit
book?
there and put it out there
That's
that
what she said,
you are willingly able to download a pirated copy of an author's book. And what you also need to realize is that 99% of these piracy sites, you go there, you click on a button, you are stuck with a virus. They just fucked your computer, they just stole your credit card number, whatever. They are taking your shit from you. Stop stealing.
And
Because you know what?
I think that's pretty fucking choice, personally. Because
Well, and honestly, if you're going to get a virus from going to a piracy site, karma's a bitch.
you know, if you're gonna get
There is.
if you're gonna get a virus from going to a website, it better be for watching porn. And not for
Wait,
stealing
you could
the
get
fucking
a virus from watching that? I didn't know that. I better stop. Just kidding.
Now you're making me think. No, I don't watch it. I make it. No, sorry. I really don't.
Whoa. Where do you get the link? Don't tell all my friends who are into cougars. I'm just saying.
Hey, you know what? I just thought of something. Speaking of cougars, I officially hit cougar status today.
Well, yeah, you're
It's
35 now.
You gotta be 35.
35 makes you a cougar?
35, and the guy has to be 10 years younger.
Congratulations.
I am officially a cougar for anyone 25 years and younger.
Yeah.
Nita's having a moment of clarity right now. She's like, well, shit.
Does that mean I can only do, like, 37? I don't know. Am I too old to have a sugar daddy?
No.
Yeah, but that'd have to be like 80 with big wrinkled balls.
I don't think you need a sugar daddy, sweetheart. I think you need a man.
Right? Okay, so let's talk about
Moving on.
let's go back to authors behaving badly, and I want to touch on some of these because I see a whole lot of it, and it honestly.
Let me say this before you get started on authors behaving badly. Readers behaving badly do not corner the market. There are authors behaving badly, and there are
Absolutely.
authors that seem to think. I mean, which goes to my point about the 4-star review. It's not just authors behaving badly, and it's not just readers behaving badly. There's a whole bunch of fucking entitled tit bags filling up the internet thinking they're entitled to free books, free reviews, 5-star reviews, and that you should be willing to pay $9.99 for a book that I've seen better shit written on the bathroom wall about Laura.
Well, you know what's worse is when somebody accepts a book and they say they're going to review it, and then they don't. That to me is stealing.
Well, yeah, if you get a book.
Well, and here's the thing: you are not guaranteed. You do not have to give a review. Now, this is the way that you can get out of that. If you get a book and you don't feel that you can give it a fair review, and you don't want to label that author with a 1-star review, which a lot of reviewers don't. If you are a legitimate reviewer, you do not like to give 1-star reviews.
Right.
So 9 times out of 10, if you get that book and you go back to the author and you say, you know what, I'm sorry, I can't review this, the author, number one, should be gracious enough to say, thank you, I appreciate that. Tell me why you cannot give this a 3.5, 4, 5-star review. Tell me why you're not going to review this. That, to me, is not stealing a book. That is giving the author...
Well, there's feedback. That's where that's where the problem is. There are people who take the book and say they're going to review it, and then it's silence. There is nothing.
Yeah,
and that's the problem.
They unfriend your ass.
You know, and it comes down to communication. Me as a writer, and me as a reviewer, and me as a reader. Okay, there are books that I won't that I read just for luxury, and that I won't give a review just because, honestly, like, it wasn't the most exciting book in the world. It was, but at the same time, it wasn't enough for me to not to write a bad review either. So I choose not to review it. I would, and that's just my preference. However, when I am asked to review a book, I always tell people, you know what? It was like, I am a very critical reviewer. So I will give you a very concise and critique of your book. If that's what you're looking for, then I am the person. If you're just looking to get your numbers up there, I am not the person. Because I will not promise you a glowing review. I am going to be honest. But I'm going to do it in a very well-mannered way, and I'm never going to go and bash an author, because my job is to tell the author what was good, the pros and the cons, what was good, why I liked it, what it was great about it, the cons, what I didn't like about it, what could be worked on, and what it needs to be done. And then I give an overall thought of it, and then even put in the cover, I give them a whole critique about the entire package that they sent me. And then I will base it on that. So if the book was phenomenal and the cover was I'll be like, yeah, your cover was I'll give you a 1 star. Because, honestly, I have the right, in my opinion, to give a critique on the cover because it is my forte. It is my job. This is what I do for work. So I can honestly say I can give you criticism on something, and you can take it to the bank and know that I'm not bullshitting you, pretty much.
Right.
And that's the end. And then, but I'm not doing it in a way like, well, this book sucked. Do not get this book. I don't understand how. And this is usually what I read on Goodreads. Don't understand all these reviews. Why it's getting so many 5 stars. And this book sucked. I just didn't connect with me. And this and that. Okay, fine. But what could make it better? It's okay that you didn't like a book. That's what happens. But help the author become a better writer.
Right.
Tell them what was wrong with it. Like, help them. I was like, it's the least we as readers can do for an author, and vice versa. If an author sees that she did get a bad review, and it wasn't a great review, but the person went out of their way to give a good critique, thank the person. Tell them thank you for the review. Because you don't even have to sound like you're being condescending. Just tell him thank you because you went out of the way to get there. I mean, I had one author who messaged me and asked to have a one-on-one type Skype thing because I gave her a review. And because of that review, she wanted to understand what was missing from her book and this and that. My job is to give that. And I was glad that she reached out to me personally and contacted me. And I have no problems with that.
Yeah, but that's the good method. That's give and take. But when you have reviewers that are like, this sucks, and then you have an author that says, you get a 4-star review, and why didn't you give this a 5-star review? And you're a blockhead, and yada yada yada. No, resist the temptation to show your ass.
Yep.
Resist the temptation to harass another person because they don't agree. Because you know what? Opinions are subjective.
Yeah. I mean, and the thing is also...
I personally detest... Laura, you might love.
Exactly.
So you can comment about the grammar, you can comment about the writing style, about the technical shit, but anything other than that, and it's only subjective. I read one review like years ago about this book has the F word too many times. Well, holy fuck, I gotta read this bitch.
Right.
And I mean, this lady had written a 1-star review because of all the gratuitous cussing. It's like gratuitous to you is every day to me. Because, I got a potty mouth.
Right.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you what. The other day I saw a conversation where somebody was like, do you guys read books that have, that say the word cock, pussy, or anything like that in the book describing the male's parts and stuff like that? Does it make you cringe, or does it make you, not, it doesn't bother you at all? For me, it doesn't bother me, obviously, because I say it like nothing. But at the end of the day, though, I feel more uncomfortable reading a book like when somebody says his hard rod or her moist, entrance or something like that. And
a lot of
especially you just said moist. Where's Sarah J. Pepper?
Yep.
When you're sitting there and you're writing a sex scene, and you don't want to say, and he stuck his hard dick. And then his dick went in and out, and you don't want to keep saying dick over and over, so you try to find different words to describe the same thing, because if not, it's like dick, 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 dick.
Well, yeah, absolutely, I understand that.
Oh,
but at the same time, is like you don't have to say that over and over again. I mean, he was inside her, and she felt it, or stuff like that. It doesn't mean it has to be specifically, like, I don't need, I'm not stupid. I know what the male part is.
Well, but see, like, if I'm editing and I find that word more than twice on a page, I'm going to start making highlights and saying, you know what, you need to change one of these, you need to change two of these, you need to fix this, you need to fix that.
I ran into that issue with Cabana. Now, it wasn't Dick, granted, but it was Cabana. But how many ways are you going to say Cabana? Cabana Bungalow. That's about it.
Well, see, and I had the same issue with the word mist. I had to figure out ways.
You did.
And because, I mean, how many ways can you,
But you fixed it.
Because at the end of the day, it's mist. It's like, there's a difference between fog and there's a difference between vapor, but mist is just like a light coat in comparison to, a fog, which is like everywhere, and then there is, a vapor that's coming like from your vape. You know what I mean? Like, there's different types of it, and so it's just like you write it, and then, but at the same time, if you have a good editor like Tiffany, and she points it out that you did put it like 10 times or whatever reason, then you have to kind of go back and then just reword it everything, and then just kind of reword the whole phrases. So that way you don't have to reuse that word so many times. But a good editor will catch that and will tell you, hey, you need to fix this. So,
well, honestly, like, I've worked with authors, and I still work with authors to this day. I mean, if we want to go back to behaving badly, I've worked with authors in the past where I was like, you know what, this isn't working. Like, you need to go back and you need to fix this, and this character falls flat and it's very two-dimensional, or, you've got this plot hole, yada, yada, yada. I don't know how many times I had one author tell me, shut up and just edit what I wrote. Just make it, just make it look good. Don't fuck with my story. Don't fuck with my characters. And I'm like, you know what? This right here is what makes people not want to read your fucking books. And to me, that right there is an author behaving badly, because you hired me to do a job.
To make you look good, and then you're not even taking my points. So
it's not like I said, you know what, your story's shit, because I wouldn't do that. There are stories that I've gotten that have been total disasters when they got to me. And I still would not tell the author, this is shit, or, you can't write, you need to find another job. I would never say that. I would never try to take someone's dream away from them. But at the same time, you hired me to do a job, and you asked me for my opinion, and my job is to go through here and fix all this. And then when I fix it, you're like, nope, not going to do it. Okay, well, you know what? That's on you. And then you come to me and you bitch because you get a 1 or 2 star review. My hands are tied.
Right.
Exactly. And see, and that's the thing, is like, there are times that you have an editor that is giving critique, but the author will just accept changes and then not really go over everything. And then, like, there are things that they're missing completely, so it doesn't make sense for whatever reason. And then what ends up happening is, as a reader, you're reading this, and then they get mad at the editor. They're like, hey, well, she's like, well, this person edited my book. And
authors should always read their stuff. Like,
it's your baby. The editor is your babysitter or your nanny, but they're not the mother.
Exactly.
You still have to fucking parent.
Right. And I just finished an edit for an author, and she's a debut author, and her book is getting ready to come out. And my biggest suggestion to her was, once we got everything done, I sent her the clean file to her Kindle. And I said, read it on your Kindle, because it looks different on the Kindle, and your eyes and your mind are going to register it differently on the Kindle page than they are on your computer page. And, she found just very few minor mistakes that she went in and fixed. And, we sent it to Dina for formatting, and then we sent it back to the author and said, now that it's formatted, go back and check it, make sure that everything's right. And, she's got it on her Kindle. She's going to read it again on her Kindle. This author has been great. She's taken every bit of direction. She worked really well with our content development editor, and she's worked really well with all of us. And, she's put in, she gets it. But it's those few authors out there who have this diva complex, and yeah, I'm going to say diva complex because it's there. And it honestly, it needs to stop, because burning bridges is not what's going to make it for you in this industry. You cannot sit there and you can't talk shit without proof. You can't talk shit just to make yourself look better. And if you're hiding behind your fucking computer screen, come out. We're done. You know, everybody, it is terrible, and it's destroying the industry because it's scaring those people who may have a fantastic story to tell. They may have probably the next bestseller, but they're scared to death to put it out there because everybody's being an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
Or the readers who are scared to start reviewing indies because they see these fucking indie authors, when they get a 4-star review or a 3-star review, bashing them and having their fan club, you know, their fucking street team, go and start harassing this fucking reviewer, either on Goodreads or Amazon.
Oh yeah.
Don't be that fucking author. Don't be that fucking fan. Yeah, it's great to completely support an author. It's great to inspire readers so they want to support you. But you know what? When you're in that position as an author, you have a bigger fucking responsibility to not be a cunt. And to be a fucking human being and make a better impression than being a complete and total fucking whinebag.
Absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, as a writer, and you know, we're always going to have to hone in our craft. So it's not going to be. I think I did a master class with James Patterson that I saw online, and he has said something to the effect that it would take a person to write a million words before they can actually hone in their craft, to really get their voice down, to get their critique down. And it's something that resonated with me just because, you know, I have so many works in progress, you know, on my computer. I mean, I went through it the other day with Tiffany, and, you know, it isn't so much that I didn't finish it, but it allows me to, and I read the things from the old stuff from like 2010 to the present stuff. And, you know, my development and my ability to write from then to now is completely different. Before, I used to write in first person. Now I try to write in first person, and I cringe a little just because I can't do it, you know, because I have gotten so used to writing in third person. And then, and so to write in present in terms, I just can't do it. It just flips me out. So,
I don't think I can write in first person.
You know,
First off, I have a hard time thinking, how would I act if I was a man? You know?
yeah.
And
well, but you know what? And there are some authors out there who can nail the shit out of first person.
Oh yeah.
You know, they're good at it, and they are the wordsmiths that can make it happen. But first person is not easy.
It has to be done in a way with grace.
I'll be writing in first person. Right now, I'm more comfortable in third person omnipotent. I know your fucking thoughts.
See, the thing is also, for me, is that if you have supporting characters in your book, you know, it is better to write in third person because the characters are able to move more effortlessly. Their backgrounds can be easierly, like that word. It's easier for them to, you know, it's easier for them to develop. You know what I mean? It's easier for them to develop. And I actually got that from C Streetlights, who told me that when I wrote, because, you know, my first book was written in first person. And then I read over it again later on, like 3 years later, and I read it, and I was like, ooh, I can't. It was bad. I was like, okay, you know what? And she gave me the critique. Like, she's like, dude, like, I think if, you know, you have these supporting characters, you should really write in third person because it will make the characters be able to develop easier. So I had to take a whole manuscript and, like, rewrite everything from first person to third person. It's a huge project. But at the same time, she was able to pinpoint things that I completely missed, and it's an awesome opportunity. But I took the criticism. It hurts. It guts you. but it makes you a better writer at the end of the day.
Well, and if you can accept that criticism, that's great. But, you know, like I said before, there are some authors that just, they can't. And I don't know if it's, I don't know what it is. It's this diva complex. It's, you know, it's my story and don't touch it and I'm protective of it and blah, blah, blah. But, you know, there's a time, here's the thing. When you, it's kind of like what Dina said earlier. You know, it is your baby. And when you give your baby to someone to watch it, babysitter, aka editor, you're trusting them to take care of your baby. Mm-hmm. And you need to, it's like, you know, when you leave your kids, when you leave your children with a babysitter, you're trusting them, you're letting go of the reins just a little bit, you know, enough that they're going to care for your children, they're going to make sure that they're safe and they're, you know, they're fed and they're bathed and whatever. It's the same thing with your book. Trust your team. Trust that they are not going to lead you astray if you have the right team.
Exactly. I mean, I guess I can only speak for myself, but for Dina as well, I would say, we are fortunate that we have a great support system within our circle as it is, and you know, we're always willing to bring those into our circle so they can learn from us and vice versa. There are things other people may know better than us, but at the end of the day, it is like the opportunity for somebody to accept that, you know, somebody might know more than I do.
Direction, accept that someone else might have a wider base of knowledge than you yourself have. Like, you, okay, yeah, I can get in there and I can fuck around and create space, and I can do some really kick-ass shit, or not create space, Photoshop, sorry, and I can do some really kick-ass shit. But you know what? I'm not going to even consider doing my own cover.
I will kick your ass if you were to try to do your own cover.
I mean, not gonna fucking happen. And you know, that's like, we already know I'm a grammar vandal, so I have Tiffany.
Pretty much, and that's the same thing. What I say is, you know, I will get
the Nazi.
When it comes to graphics, I'll do whatever she wants when it comes to graphics, as long as she makes my words sound better than they were before. That's all that matters to me.
Right.
Well, and part of the okay, you've got plenty of authors behaving badly and acting like complete and total douche canoes. And then, but really, what doesn't get enough kudos is there are authors that are like the Badass Book Bitches, and not the Badass Book Bitches and the Badass Book Society is not just authors, it's also cover designers, and it's editors, and it's bloggers, and it's people who, they help each other. Okay, I sent my book out to, I think, 10 people, and you know, I got lots of kudos on it. I got lots of, okay, look, you've got this word misspelled, and I'm like, okay, this is pretty much a given because it's a first draft. Yeah, I'm gonna have then in place of than. You know, shit happens. I have inch-long nails. I've got a lot of 3s in my words where E's should be. Sorry. But then I also got some that are like, okay, look, you mentioned the fact that this is why she's not in the public eye. The other family is, you mentioned this like 3 or 4 times. I'm tired of fucking hearing about it. Well, holy fuck. This is the only person that gave me a actual critique instead of a proofing.
Right.
And so that meant a whole hell of a lot, because everything else, really, I caught when I ran a grammar check. Thank you, Word or Microsoft Office.
Well, I'll tell you this. Okay, for example, when I wrote the Arcana Codex, it started off, I had a dream. I wrote it out. It was 2 chapters. That's all it was. And I sent it to Karina, right? And Karina Espinoza, one of my best gals. And so I sent it to her, and she read it, and she gave me like a pretty extensive, long email of what she loved, what it needed to be worked on, and then what I needed to do that. So I'm like, okay, great. So she told me that I needed to expand more. She told me, I needed to fix this, that, and the other. So from what started out to be 2 chapters, ended up being more than 5 chapters that I added to this. So it started to develop into an actual book. And mind you, each chapter was about 4,000 words, between 4,000 and 4,500 words. So this developed into a very hefty chunk of just by her one critique alone. So then I allowed another person to read it, and they were like, well, I want to know more about, about their life. Like, I'm not seeing this and this and that. And now I'm like, well, okay. So guess what ends up happening is that develops,
The 5
for the
chapters develops into 10.
Exactly.
And they're
so then,
not fluffy chapters, they're meaty chapters.
Exactly.
Right. And that's what happens when you have a good critiquing basis.
And that's the thing is that as a writer, we have to take that in and say, you know what, just because, sometimes it hurts us to hear somebody say, you know what, this isn't working.
Your baby
I'm not liking it.
That's basically what it's like. It's like someone telling you that your child's a brat. And that's what it is, because writing is, I don't think anyone really that writes gets into it, not the people that love to write, get into it to make $1 million, because really, your name's not Stephen King and it's not going to fucking happen.
Yeah.
I mean,
unless you're just in the Wilder, she makes $1 million probably.
And like in the right place at the right time in a genre that's not getting enough play.
Yeah. And then here's the thing, and again, for me, it was, it allowed me to develop. And then, I'm not even going to lie, I have one person who is my fangirl. And I needed the fangirl in my circle so that I wouldn't, lose hope.
Right, exactly.
And so, because, they're going to love you and everything regardless, but you need the fan person because, you know what, honestly, they're going to keep you motivated to keep writing.
To keep you motivated, yeah, because, that's like in the bitches group. I would post, okay, look, I wrote this. What do y'all think?
Mm-hmm.
And then I'd hear holy fucking shitballs. That's hot. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, good. Then I'm doing the right thing. Or I'd send, Tiffany, I sent you with the first 5 chapters. Read this and tell me, do I need to continue?
Actually,
I wanted to know, am I completely wasting
the first 1,500 words, and you said, I need you to look at this and give me your honest opinion. I didn't even know you had written it. I just, I thought you were sending it to me through a friend. A friend was sending it to you, and you were sending it to me. And I read it, and I'm like, wow, this is the beginning of a really great story. And then it clicked, and I was like, holy shit, Dina wrote this. And it was really good. And I think that, but the thing is, in the beginning you had a timeline, and your timeline was to release this by your birthday a few days ago,
right?
And you were smart enough and gracious enough when it came to your critiquers to say, whoa, wait a minute, I should put the brakes on this. I should slow this down.
I listened to the Silver Fox, because he told me when he wanted to publish it, he's like, don't publish it until February. And I'm like, no, I want to publish it in 2016.
Right.
This is my own self-imposed, and it's for no fucking reason. It wasn't because, I don't know, I wanted to turn it before I turned 50, because, I've still got a couple of years ahead of that. And it wasn't for anything except I wanted it published this year. I wrote it this year. I want it published this year. And so then he was like, well, wait until November. I'm like, no, I'm not waiting until November. Fuck that. Because I wanted to publish in June. I wanted to publish it for my birthday. And I've already said, okay, no, I can't do the story justice. I can't go through the critiques that I've gotten. I can't do some bloody fucking revisions and then turn around and send it to Tiffany for an editing. I've already got the cover made. Thank you, Laura. Woohoo! But I can't.
Well, that was the easy part.
Right? I can't have it. I can't have it ready to release the best that I can. So I put the brakes on and said September. And then, you know, I did take this Silver Fox's, I don't know, advice, because I had done like zero fucking promotion. No one except for my friends knew that that I was writing this.
Yeah. Well, see, here's the thing. Like, when I was at Comic-Con the other day, last weekend, we went, and my husband gave me
There, Tegan, is that better?
There you go. So what I was saying was Frankie gave me some books, and he was so sweet. And when we were about to leave, I kind of stopped by a booth that was from Del Rey Publishing, and I look, and they have these sample books, and I'm like, hey, this is really cool, you know? So I pick it up, and you know, I take one, and I'm looking on the back, and it says that the release, she said, ha ha ha, that's effing awesome. But and so I take it, but this release isn't until February, and here we are in June, so it's exactly what the Silver Fox had just said, you know, and basically giving you ample time to promote, you know, and it makes sense. I understand why he's saying that, because generally speaking, a lot of times they take, you know, almost a good 8-9 months.
You know, you have the promotion that you have to do beforehand, and I get that. And he was absolutely right. I'd done like zip. People knew that I was writing something. They but other than that, they had no fucking clue. They had no idea what the genre was about. And that's like today when he and I were meeting with someone, and she had asked, she goes, well, are you an author? And I can't say that I'm an author. I won't say it. And he's like, yeah, she is. And she's like, well, what do you write? And I'm like, porn. You know?
Well, look, this is what I was talking about. Was what I picked up.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the back has the publishing information and like when the release date is, and it kind of shows you, you know, the formatting and what they're.
Is that like a prequel?
Yeah, it's a sample of the book. It's like literally a sample. It's the first 50 pages of the book. And basically, it kind of gets people to wet their whistle, and you know, I think it's an awesome little thing. I think it's awesome, like if you're an author and you haven't gone, you know, you can't go to a signing. This is something you might invest in and put it in like the, you know, the swag bags. I would tell them to do that. I mean, it's probably a little bit pricey, but it's gonna save you a hell of a lot more if you buy tickets and hotel and books and, you know, everything that you're gonna need. If you're just trying to get your name out there, this might be the way to go. Just saying.
Yeah.
I wonder what the price difference is between that and a fucking postcard.
Well, I mean, I was trying to find something like this, honestly, to find out what.
Like what it would run through CreateSpace. Is that what you're talking, Dina?
Yeah.
Well, this one is a sample book, so it's not like an actual book, like, because it's a staple in the middle.
Yeah, it's a staple. You might be able to get that. And what size is it? Is it 8.5 folded?
It looks like it's a 4x7. I think it's like 4x7. I want to say. So.
Well, get out your tape measure.
Doesn't
Doesn't everyone carry a tape measure in their purse?
No.
Is that just me?
Okay.
Is that what you need on a date to make sure they pass the limit?
Strong like bull.
Okay,
So
Dina, how much time do we have left? Because I wanted to bring something up.
We had 20 minutes.
Got 20 minutes?
Yeah.
I want to go back to...
And we can also continue with a Bitches After Dark. That seems to get a lot of listens.
Okay. Yeah, because Bitches After Dark, right?
Bitches After Dark, they think it's like we're topless and shit. And actually, I will be. I will be topless on Bitches After Dark. Wearing a sports bra, but I'm topless.
Hey,
Nice.
yeah,
Sorry.
guess what?
Okay, so what I wanted to touch on with the authors behaving badly, and this goes authors, readers, bloggers, event hosts, models, everyone. When you go to events, mind your damn manners.
Oh, yeah.
It is that simple. If you wouldn't do it in front of your mama, you wouldn't say it in front of your mama, you sure as fuck shouldn't be doing it in front of everybody else.
Okay, that's a problem for me because I do all kinds of shit in front of my mama.
Shut your face. But what I'm saying is there is and you know, we don't mention names here, but there is a particular small circle that it seems like every event that is attended by this particular circle, there is an issue. There is drama, drama, drama. Here's the thing. You are there to promote your books. You are there to promote your business. Leave everybody else the fuck alone.
Right.
Mind your P's and Q's. Do your shit. Get in, get out, and be done with it. Because all you're doing is you are creating a bad name for events. And it could be the event coordinator has absolutely nothing to do with it. It could be the author has absolutely nothing to do with what their model is doing. But you know what? If you would not do it in front of your parents, if you would not do it in front of your grandparents, if you wouldn't do it in front of your damn preacher, don't do it. It's just, it is that simple. Don't start rumors. Don't say shit. Don't step out of line. If someone tells you that this is supposed to be a family-friendly event and you can't be family-friendly, don't go.
Right. If you're going to get the same reaction from stripping off your pants and running through the event as you're going to get from showing your ass, you're probably better off stripping off your pants and running through the event.
Right? Well, and you know, like with my events in the past, I had issues with models. And unfortunately, it hurt me. And it didn't matter the conversations that I had with these models before it even happened. It happened. They did it. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Wait, can I just say this? I just realized something. I got my shirt on inside out. And I was sober. I had not even taken one sip, and I just realized. How fucking retarded am I? Okay, sorry.
But anywho, you know, but then again, I've also seen authors and models and bloggers get hurt professionally, emotionally at these events by people who think that they need to bully. You know, like, as far as I'm concerned, events should be a bully-free zone. You can't mind your P's and Q's? Stay the fuck out.
Well, I mean, I've been watching a lot of, like, shows.
It's like Mean Girls on steroids at some of these events.
Well, you know, I think that's some of it, and then you've also got, I don't know, there's some crazy ass shit. It's like suddenly these, you know, the fat girls in the corner at the school dance are now in charge of the fucking zoo. You know, I mean, and it's like they're trying to make everyone fucking pay for the horrible bullying they received in high school now in the real world. And let's face it, honey, we're not in fucking high school anymore, and your fucking antics aren't fucking flying. And you talking about someone behind their back, trust me, nothing is fucking secret. This is a small, incestuous group. If you're saying something, it's getting out there.
Well, and we live in the world of screenshots. You're putting your shit out there, and you're going into private groups that you think are secret, and you're having, you know, private messaging that you think is private. It's not. Keep your damn mouth shut.
Right now,
I have never heard. I can honestly tell you, before I came into this industry, I had never heard the term cease and desist. Cease and desist, cease and desist, cease and desist. I had never heard that term because you know what? It was never
There's a lot of
needed.
people who say, "Well, I talked to an attorney." No, you haven't, because they would have told you you're fucking retarded and full of shit. There's
Exactly.
nothing you can do, and you can sit and you can make big fucking threats, but until you fucking ball up and follow through, shut the fuck up.
Well, and you know, I will tell you this: there's a lot of stuff that happens in the publishing industry that can't be touched by an attorney unless you have a shit ton of money to dump into it, especially when it comes to things like plagiarism. And especially if the person who plagiarized is across international borders.
Yep.
You know, people are protected by international law. You know, plagiarism is a big thing. That is a huge author behaving badly. Like, seriously, copy and pasting people's shit into your book to give you what you think you need, just put down the pen. You know, like, just put it down. Put it down and walk away, because you are doing no one a favor. None.
Well, you know, that's like I would share snippets of my book with the bitches. I never once someone said, "Well, aren't you worried about someone stealing what you wrote?" Not with the bitches, I'm not. It's not an open group. There's 75 bitches in there, and I can honestly say probably 90% of them I have a relationship with these people. I talk to them. And it's not just this anonymous. I've met them in person. We've talked in various ways. You know, and if I post a snippet on my public timeline, then I have no control over it. But in the bitches, I'm 99% sure that shit isn't going to wind up in someone else's story.
Right.
You know, but, you know, and like I said, when people do plagiarize, and this is a thing, though, and it is your words, but let's just say, for example, it's the same storyline, just with different words. To me, that is a form of plagiarism. It's not exactly, but you're still taking the same plot.
It's paraphrasing. It's the same thing you do when you write a fucking paper in school.
All right.
Exactly. And so what, for me, and this is like me as a reader, what I'm finding is that you are finding more books, and this, I find this a lot in romance, is I'm rereading the same storyline, just with different names, different areas, but it's all the same bones. And it's just like,
I'm not going to write about my motherfucking stepbrother, because you know what? He ain't got $1 billion. He's a fucking fireman. Now, there you go. There's a fucking storyline. Feel free to steal it. Not a billionaire stepbrother, a fireman stepbrother. Go for it.
But see, and that's my point, is just that, you know, you have these, you know, you have these people who are successful writing one thing, and then you get other people who start coming up out of the woodwork writing the same exact thing, thinking like, well, hey, it worked for them, I'm going to write it for myself. Well, guess what, honey? I mean, these people became successful because they thought outside of the box.
They
were
wrote
the first.
Something original. They didn't follow someone else's fucking formula. You know, that's the whole reason Anne Rice hit it big with Diary of a Vampire. It had not really been done that way before.
Yep.
And then, you know, everything. And then, you know,
you talk about Interview with the Vampire?
Interview with the Vampire.
Isn't that what I said?
No, you said Diary of a Vampire.
Vampire Diaries, Diary of a Vampire, Interview with the Vampire, Diarrhea, I don't know. Actually,
but the whole point is that
the Mayfair Witches series best out of her stuff. I didn't really get into.
But, like, you know, at the end, it's like this whole thing is that, you know, as a reader, you know, I want to read something different. And then there's the other issue is that I binge read on a genre. So there will be, you know, a week or 2 weeks where I'm binge reading on one genre completely, and it's just like completely insane that I'm completely binging on it, and then I'm done. Like as soon as I'm done, then I'm finding something and then I move on. But I just like
It's
it.
like you need
This
something. You need another genre to cleanse your palate.
exactly.
Yeah, I do
It's the
that.
truth. I mean, honestly, it's the really because I was binging on Supernatural and like I'm watching television on my Netflix, and I binged on that, and then I got over it. I was okay. I need to like stop that fourth season. I was done, and then I'm binging on Drop Dead Diva, and now I'm like, okay, well I'm done now. Like today was like the last one. I was like, fifth season. I'm like, okay, I'm done for now.
Dexter.
So
Dexter's a good one. Dexter's a good
like
one to
now I
binge
need something
watch.
else.
Dexter's a good one to
So-
binge watch, and Sex and the City's a good one to binge watch, and then of course The Standby, which I'm binge watching right now. I've gone back to watch Sons of Anarchy for like the 15th time.
Frankie
I
watches Sons of
love
Anarchy
that
all the
show.
time. But you know what though? Okay, here's the thing: is like every time my husband watches the Sons of Anarchy, he gets this bug where he wants to go ride his bike again, and then like he'll be gone for like days on end, like where every weekend for the whole entire weekend he's gone, and it's just like and it's just he gets that bug, and then it's like okay, well I won't see him for the whole weekend, when he does this thing. But I mean, it kind of
Wait,
helps
is
when
this a bad thing?
for me it is. I miss him.
Oh.
Shoot.
Okay.
Is that
But
the
yeah.
wedding and funeral again there, Dina?
Wedding, funeral, same difference. Yeah, I mean, once again, zero game, and probably have no business whatsoever being in a relationship.
Can you lower the AC down for a little bit?
Are you dying?
I am dying.
Okay, so to reiterate, if you get a book,
You heard him? You heard what he said? Just saying. He just said that he's leaving for the weekend. See?
I didn't do it,
Sons of
man.
Anarchy, now he's leaving for the whole weekend.
I didn't do it. Wasn't me. Don't blame me. So to reiterate, if you're asking for a review, don't berate the reviewer who gives you less than a 5-star.
We'll get one.
If it's a constructive review, and especially if they're reading something that's outside of their regular genre.
Oh, and don't send your street team to go battle your nemesis on Amazon.
Or
Goodreads,
downvote them on Amazon either.
or Facebook, and start harassing people on Facebook.
Don't do
Because
that.
this isn't high school, you little fucking titbags.
Like I said, it is like
And
Mean
act like
Girls
an
on steroids.
And you know,
Well, here's the thing. Okay, and this is something I'm going to just say out there.
you badmouth too. And
Well,
if
this is
you're
the
gonna
thing.
fucking call someone out for theft, you better fucking make sure you got the shit to back it up. Especially if you're the one who's fucking thieving.
Right?
But here's the thing.
Hello?
This is something I always wondered, though, okay? And I'm just going to put it out there.
Let me
There
tell
are people who are bullies, and they don't know who they're picking on. Okay? They don't know if the person, their history, they don't know who they know, they don't know how they will react, they don't know what is going on in that person's frame of mind. That said, tread lightly who you pick on, because if you don't know them from a hole in the wall, you're putting yourself in a very horrible situation because you don't
Yeah,
really
because
know.
I could come find your ass and poke you, punch you in the fucking ovaries.
But that's my point. It's just that you don't know who you're talking to. You don't know who that person is and who they're associated with, who they're married to. I mean, God forgive me, but like, what if I was a part of, like, I had a husband who was, I don't know, like the leader of a motorcycle gang, like, come on. You wouldn't know that. And then, like, if he was an outlaw, you wouldn't know that. And so at the end of the day, it's like you have to really, really, really be smart because this is a business. Whether you write books or not, it is a business. You have to. There's an ethics. There are things that you have to do.
Well, a lot of it is people, they get online, and it's like they lose all fucking class, all taste, and all morals. Now, you might be finding me mentioning something about someone having no class and no taste and no morals funny. But when I mention something on my social media or on Facebook, I'm going to say the exact same fucking thing in person, face to face. I'm not going to, I don't put on any, you know, I'm just as
I don't have
classy
hair on my
in
tongue.
person as I am online. I am just as blunt in person as I am online.
Yeah, but like I'm saying, like for me, there's the easy saying. I don't have hair on my tongue. So if you meet me in person, the same thing I will tell you on the computer, I'm gonna tell you in your face. And don't get me twisted because you don't know me. That's just all I'm saying.
Exactly.
You don't know me from a hole in the wall.
And
My husband tells me this all the time. He says I have a hard hand and I have
on an assault charge. I'm just going to say that right now.
No, seriously, I told Frankie a number of times that if somebody was to ever come up to me, that we have money saved for just for my bail money. Seriously, because I won't fucking the day that somebody ever tries to do something to me again, I will retaliate ugly. So,
well,
just
I got lots of friends that already know that
yeah.
I might need bail.
Frankie knows he has to have bail for
I have
me.
a friend that every time I tell him I'm going out of town, he just says, "All right, I got your bail ready." I say I'm gonna be hanging out with you hooligans.
A friend of mine, I sent a message to a friend of mine. I said, "I'm going to court. Wish me luck." And she goes, "I got $10,000 saved for bail." That tells me I can get charged with something and have to have $100,000 bail, and she's got my bond. So, do you know what I could get away with for $100,000? And once again, murder and mayhem plays a part in Badass.
No, so, we are not plotting anything.
If you're not going to say it in person, don't fucking say it online. And if what you say cannot be held up in a fucking court of law, you better shut your fucking pie hole.
Right?
You know people.
Yeah, I would. I would show people that I have no shame.
You know.
You know what Frankie's showing me right now?
Uh-oh.
He's showing me his tattoo on his back.
Nice.
No shame. So, but yeah, like I said, you don't know. You don't know. But like I said, you know.
I know lots of criminals.
Hey, I'm Colombian, so do I. Just kidding. Totally kidding.
I know, well, you know.
Yeah, I know.
We're not going to talk about my son's side of the family.
I know, girl. I know.
I know.
We won't talk about my daddy's side of the family. I'm just saying. So, but you know.
Well, you know, it's just it irritates me because people start running off the mouth and they get fucking stupid with it.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, look, I'm going to tell you, I have shared stuff on Facebook where someone has said something about an event, and it was just one side of the event, and I don't do it anymore because you know what? It's subjective. What you think is a shitty event, another author could be attending and have sold out of their books and think it's absolutely fucking fantastic. If I'm there, I'm going to share about the event. My own personal experience.
Well, I'll tell you this, okay? I've had an experience where I went to an event, and I went as a graphic designer, and I had the best time. Like, I had an amazing time. I got to travel. I met some amazing people. It was just a blast. Granted, there wasn't very many readers, you know, but I had a great time. It was done beautifully. You know, I had a wonderful time. So, for an author, I could see it not being the best thing for them. You know what I mean? for a graphic designer, well, it gave me a lot of time to talk to authors and build my business. So I was happy.
Right.
You know, but but the thing is, and this is where it kind of where I feel is the problem is that people are forgetting when you do these events, they are working so hard, you know, blood, sweat, and tears, and then like what's happening is that they don't know enough about the business to plan an event in advance. They don't really know what they're doing in advance to get into this, and then there are some people who do fantastic events right off the bat. So it's just really, you know, subjective of who is doing it. Excuse me, who is doing it. Now, granted, there are people, promoters, who've done events that did very bad things. And it was bad, like, you know, and there's people who took money, and I mean that's a horrible situation.
The
And
worst is the events where money's taken and the event doesn't happen.
yeah,
And
Oh,
then,
and there was that big thing about that not too long ago.
right.
you know, and so when those type of situations happen, you know, it's just like we have to remember that this is why you have sponsors. This is why you have everything in, you know, in writing before then. This is why you have all these things before you do that. So, because if it has to be paid before the event is actually being held, like you cannot expect the authors to pay for the entire event. You want to make sure that your sponsors are taking the majority of the event, so that way, as well as the authors, and then the readers, the additional money that the readers are giving you, then, you know, basically that is so your event can go and be a better writer. I mean, better, you know, better event, better writer as a whole,
So
networking,
you've got
planning,
money
all
for
that
your
stuff,
next event that you're going to have to pay shit up front.
pretty much.
You know, and promote the event.
Hell yeah. Yes, girl, yes.
Okay, so that's it. I'm done with you badass motherfuckers. No, I'm not.
Go away.
So,
Be lame.
if you want to continue, we'll be on Bitches After Dark. But that is it for Badass Pub. So take your cheesy lines, and we'll see you here next weekend.
Pieces.
Bitches!
Those dedos.
Hold on, someone come walking in my door.
We're
You
still
have a guest
live.
speaker? Hello.
We're still live.
Bye. Peace out, people.
Bye.
Later.